Right, we're going to start off our World Cup special with a gem of a game. This is Emlyn Hughes International Soccer from Audio Logic. It came out in the early 80s. Now, none of you know who Emlyn Hughes is, but he was a great footballer who played for Liverpool and England in the 70s. Unfortunately, he's not with us now, but he did have a game that came out, so that shows you how great he really was. Now, with his games, they're very basic. This is early Spectrum Footy. Now, this game, it never had a licence. You had your international sides, but no club sides. But it did have a function where you could put your own names in your own teams. But sadly, you couldn't save it. This is probably the first football game that introduced headers. Very basic, you just pressed the button when the ball was in the air, but trying to score a goal from a header was nigh on possible. Now, can you hear those sound effects? The Spectrum was made to work overtime to produce those beeps and bops. The Spectrum was the master of the beeps. As you can see, it was stripes versus shirts, and that was all it is. That's all you had, same old colours. This was a great two-player game. As with most of the early games, you could play in any mode, 1 versus 1 or co-op. You didn't have any competitions in the game. All you had to do was play friendlies. You could make your own leagues, like I say. So it basically ended up just a two-player game, but nothing wrong with that. Always good. Nothing wrong to have a bit of a competitive side. So that's Emlyn Hughes International Soccer. That started off our little World Cup special. Now the next game on our list is Tracksuit Manager, a rather rare game for the Spectrum. Now this was made by Goliath Games. It came out in the late 80s, around 88 I believe, and you basically took the role as the England manager and you steered them all the way to the World Cup finals and the European Cup finals. But this is where the addiction started with these sort of games. I would play this game all night and I would get about an hour's sleep just before school in the morning. Nowadays it's exactly the same. I'm up playing Football Manager all the time and still getting no sleep. So you selected your squad from a handful of players. You didn't have many to choose from, a pool of 20 players in each, and you had to select your squad to take to the World Cup. Now, one of the excellent features Tracksuit Manager had, which I thought was a great implementation, was that whenever one of your strikers had a shot at goal, or whoever's had a shot at goal, you had a pause. Just like that. A bit of anticipation to see what would come next. Now, this is the first time I noticed the scrolling bar at the bottom of the screen. Now, this is why Tracksuit Manager gets a little bit of a mention. So you had text that would appear on the screen, and that would give you a rundown of what's happening in a match. And that's all that can be said about Tracksuit Manager, apart from it was one of the very first text-based football management games. And those damn Czechs have scored as well. Bugger! Now next on our list is Matchday from Ocean Software, the great Ocean Software, until it was bought out by Infogrames in the late 90s. But less of that, it's just another case of another great Brit developer disappearing off the face of the earth. Well, with Matchday, it was very, very basic, this game, I have to say. I mean, look, you can tell by it from the speed of the game. It was not fast, and you didn't get much goal mouth action. It was basically hitting the key as hard as you could and running onto the ball and scoring a goal. That's all there was to it. Now, the reason Matchday gets a mention is because every other Spectrum football game suffered from colour clash, except Matchday. Whenever you took your player towards another player, he was blocked, so you never ever suffered from colour clash, which was a really fantastic, revolutionary feature if you was a Spectrum owner. Oh Christ, hang on, they're on the attack again. I better defend this one. Damn, those bastards have scored again, I can't believe this. And even when you kicked off at the beginning, you kicked it off for a throw-in, unless you gave it to the opposition. It's funny, when you go back to these games, you realise how basic they were. that didn't stop it being fun, because it was fun. I can remember playing this for hours upon hours. Damn it, they're attacking again. I don't know if the goalie's going to save this one. He's going to do one of his flat pancake saves where he sort of looks like he's flat dead on the pitch.
Penalty! Oh,
Oh, forget it, I've had enough of this game.